Sato Minako is a patient with myotonic dystrophy, a hereditary disease that still has no cure. It gradually causes the muscles throughout her body to grow weaker. Her son has also been diagnosed with the same condition.
これは秘密兵器です。一旦開ければ、あとは大丈夫かと思ったけど、あともダメだ。やっぱりこの腕がたまになんて言ったらいいんだろう、こういう感じで、ちょっというふうにして持っていかないと自由に動かないっていう感じになる時はあります。
Sato once held a key position at her local supermarket. She was also active as an actress in a theater company. But gradually, her future options became more limited. At the moment, there is no drug to treat myotonic dystrophy and no way to halt its progression. But now one physician has opened a path forward. This is Professor Masayuki Nakamori of Yamaguchi University. Now patients place their hopes in the drug discovered by Professor Nakamori.
I tried hard to do my research to help patients.
This is a story of patients battling a disease and a doctor fighting by their side. Over the past few decades, medical advances have made it possible to treat many diseases. However, there are still numerous incurable conditions for which no cure has been found, and no effective way to stop the progression of symptoms. Myotonic dystrophy is one such disease. It gradually weakens the muscles of the limbs and face, while also increasing the risk of developing other serious conditions. Until now, no effective treatment has been found to stop its progression, but today, there's a researcher bringing new hope to patients. His name is Professor Masayuki Nakamori of Yamaguchi University. Today, we'll take a closer look at Professor Nakamori's efforts toward developing a treatment. Ube City, Yamaguchi Prefecture once thrived as a company town built on the coal industry. 80 years ago, with some help from a local company, a school was established. That school eventually evolved into what is now Yamaguchi University School of Medicine. Hello, thank you for having us today.
おいでませ山口へ。
Oidemase, what does that mean?
Oh, oidemase is a traditional greeting in the Yamaguchi dialect. That means welcome to Yamaguchi.
Oh, that's nice. Oidemase, that kind of has a very nice sound to it.
Oh yes, Yamaguchi is a beautiful place and one of Japan's hidden gems, I think. And here it's not crowded like the big cities, and it really feels calm.
Oh, so there must be a great place to do your research then.
Oh yes, exactly.
So, Professor, you have dedicated many years to studying myotonic dystrophy. This disease is not widely known, but can you tell us how many people are affected by it?
So it's difficult to know the exact number of the patients because some people with symptoms never see a doctor. But it's estimated that there are at least 10,000 in Japan. And worldwide, the number is thought to be at least 1 million.
What inspired you to begin your research on this illness?
After I became a neurologist, I saw a lot of patients and realized that there was no treatment available. And so it really hit me and I wanted to do something about it. So I started doing research while continuing my clinical work.
So what exactly is a myotonic dystrophy? Let's take a look at an interview with a patient. In the Tohoku region, not far from the Pacific, lies Tagajo City, Miyagi Prefecture. It is home to Sato Minako, who lives with myotonic dystrophy. Though her symptoms worsen gradually, Sato carries a positive spirit, striving to live and manage her daily life.
普通のってこういう形してますよね。でこれ切ってたんですけど、ここにすごい力が入るので、もう痛くて、もうこんなに痛いんだったらご飯作りたくないと思って、でこれだとグリップなので握った状態で力入るので、とても楽になって、それからご飯作りができるようになったんです。
Sato first noticed a change in her body 25 years ago. Then, 8 years later.
2番目の孫が生まれた時に抱っこしてるのも新生児3キロぐらいしかないじゃないですか。それもそう長い時間抱っこしていられなくて、ごめん落とすお願いだからっていうふうにして渡す。でちょうどその頃にその上の孫と追いかけっこしようっていうふうにして「用意ドン」って言ったら孫は走り出すのに私走れなかったんです。走れない。走るってどうするんだっけ。
Myotonic dystrophy is a disease caused by genetic abnormalities. Genes are built from sequences of 4 bases, which together form the human body and its countless functions. In patients with myotonic dystrophy, a base sequence called CTG is repeated more extensively than in healthy individuals. When transcribed into RNA, the repeated sequence becomes CUG. The RNA bends into an abnormal shape like a hairpin. Then it begins to trap regulatory factors, which are essential for keeping our bodies working smoothly. Because those regulators get stuck, they cannot perform their jobs. As a result, there's a decline especially in muscle function. It can also affect other organs like the heart, brain, and eyes. In 2011, the Great East Japan earthquake struck, and Tagajo City, where Sato lived, suffered extensive damage.
私が住んでいる家も床上140センチの水が上がって余震とかも結構ありましたし、チーフとして働いていて後片付けであったりとかお客様対応とかをしなければいけない。震災前は全然平気じゃない、まだいけるんじゃないっていうふうに自分で思えるような程度でしかなかった。で震災の後1ヶ月2ヶ月3ヶ月と経つうちに私もうボロボロなんだっていうふうに自分自身が思う。
Sato had no choice but to leave her job. She also offered the theater company leader her wish to step down from the troupe where she had belonged to, something she did for the love of it.
即帰ってきたお言葉がじゃあ車椅子の役作るからそれでやればいいじゃんって、寝たきりでもいいじゃんって、そうだそうだって、起きなくていいんだったらさって、舞台の上に転がってるだけでいいから美奈子さん続けなよって、もうこの人大好きと思いましたね。
This was Sato's final stage appearance. She performed in her wheelchair.
2人で川辺を散歩したわね。爽やかな風が吹いて、ジャック、どうしたの？一体何があったの？
Sato continues to carry hope in her heart that one day there will be a drug to cure her disease. So Ms. Sato is living positively, doing her best, but it must be very difficult as the disease continues to progress without a cure.
Oh, that's right. So Ms. Sato puts a lot of effort into her daily life, constantly making adjustments. But living with a condition that has no treatment is really tough for her and her family.
It must be really challenging to restore genetic abnormalities.
Yes, for infectious diseases, you can take medicine to kill the bacteria, and for cancer, you can have surgery to remove it. However, even with current science, it's still difficult to fix the problems at the genetic level.
But you have found a clue to treating this disease, right?
Oh, yes. We have found a drug that may be effective for this disease, and it's in the clinical trial stage. The new drug takes time to develop, but in that time, the disease keeps progressing. So we looked for something useful among existing drugs.
So if it's an existing drug, you don't have to wait for decades to check up on its efficacy or safety.
That's right.
Oh, that is a great idea.
Yes.
Professor Nakamori continues to see patients with myotonic dystrophy, even while conducting his research.
ピアノの時にこの音が出なくて、結局伴奏の方が強くて不旋律の音が聞こえにくいって言われて。
Nakamori wondered if he could somehow find a way to cure this disease. He investigated tens of thousands of existing drugs and compounds to find candidate substances. First, he selected those that could bind to RNA. There were about 1,000 in all. Then he narrowed the list to those which the safety had been verified to a certain degree, leaving roughly 200. Finally, he filtered for those without serious side effects and are suitable for long-term use. From that process, 20 compounds remained, mainly among existing drugs. Professor Nakamori added each of those 20 candidate substances to cells with myotonic dystrophy and tested their effects one by one. The cells were cultured for 2 days. Then a special reagent that reacts specifically to the abnormal RNA that causes myotonic dystrophy was applied. The slides were observed under a microscope. From that, he discovered a drug that can block the activity of abnormal RNA. This is erythromycin, an antibiotic that acts on RNA to stop bacterial growth. It has long been used to treat infections like pneumonia. Here is a microscopic image of cells without erythromycin. The red dots indicate abnormal RNA. In this next image, erythromycin had been added to the cells. The abnormal RNA dots in red had disappeared. Experiments were also conducted on mice showing symptoms of myotonic dystrophy. This This graph shows the percentage of normal RNA in healthy mice. The percentage is significantly lower in mice with myotonic dystrophy. However, when erythromycin was administered, the more amount it was given, the higher the percentage of normal RNA became. In this way, the therapeutic effect of erythromycin was confirmed at the level of animal experiments. Based on these findings, clinical trials on people were conducted at 3 hospitals. One of them was Aomori National Hospital. The trials were led by Dr. Hiroto Takada, who has long been involved in treating patients with myotonic dystrophy. One of the participants was Fisher Naoko. Her daughter also has the same disease. A total of 30 patients took part in the trials in 3 different hospitals. They were divided into 3 groups. Some were given erythromycin, while others were given a placebo or a dummy drug. But neither the patients nor the doctors knew who received which treatment.
私はプラセボでも構わないし、ちょっと痛い思いしても構わないと思っていて、そのスクリーニングっていうんですか、その条件に当てはまれば絶対にやりたいっていうふうに思っていて、先生にも私強く希望しますって口頭で伝えましたね。はい。患者として皆さんの治療に向けて私ができることが見つかったのかも。
大きなトラブル、有害事象をきたした方は一例もなくて、前例が治験を完遂することができています。お薬がないっていうことはやっぱりそのベッドサイドにいる者としてはじくじたる思いっていうのはあると思います。我々もその多くの筋胸直性ディストロフィーの患者さんが亡くなられる場面に会ってきたわけですね。そういう意味ではあるところで筋力だけ良くなりましたではなくて、さまざまなところに効く可能性を持っている薬っていうふうに考えますので、我々もぜひ試みてみたい。
These are the results of the clinical trial. They show by how many points the normal RNA increased. A clear effect was observed in many patients who were given erythromycin. Significant improvements were also seen in other indicators. So this research truly shines as a ray of hope for patients who had given up on ever finding a cure.
Yes, but before this drug can be used for patients, its safety and effectiveness have to be proven in a confirmatory trial. And running clinical trials is very expensive, so we need to secure research fundings.
Approximately how long will it take to deliver erythromycin to patients in need?
We are aiming to make it happen within 3 years.
Wow, within 3 years, that's no time then.
Yes. It's definitely a step forward, but we don't think it's perfect yet. We are working to make the treatment even better.
Professor Nakamori visits temples and historical sites whenever he can find the time. This is the 5-storied pagoda of the Rurikoji Temple, a national treasure located about an hour's drive from the university.
The roof of the pagoda is built by using a Japanese traditional technology called by Hiwadabuki. And the eaves of pagoda curving upward, and the upper levels getting narrower, so its pagoda looks slender and elegant. Visiting temples or shrines really makes me calm down. I sometimes come up with ideas that move my research forward. This is the main hall of this temple, and this is rice paddle, and that is pesu. these objects symbolize the Buddha's deep compassion. He grinds his own body with that pestle and offers it to others with this rice paddle to save them.
In a way, it kind of relates to what you do as a job as well.
So yes, also help others.
Now, you mentioned earlier that the treatment is not perfect yet and there are still things to do. What do you mean by that?
So erythromycin can definitely be expected to help treat myotonic dystrophy patients, but it's not perfect. For example, if you lock your fingers like this, your hands won't come apart. However, if you just wrap one hand around the other, they will come apart very easily. So the erythromycin bind to the abnormal RNA relatively weakly, something kind of that. We try to find more selective binding partner with the abnormal RNA that won't come apart easily from the target.
For example, what are they?
Oh, well, actually it's a protein that plants naturally have.
A protein from plants?
Yes.
Oh, wow. This is theocress, a plant widely found across the Eurasian continent. Its leaves are known to contain more than 400 types of proteins called PPR. PPR proteins play an essential role in processes such as photosynthesis. They bind strongly to RNA and regulate its activity. A research group at Kyushu University uncovered how the amino acid sequences that make up PPR proteins determine which bases of RNA they bind to. One of the essential members, Yusuke Yagi, is now working at a startup, applying this knowledge to develop new uses for PPR. Yagi and his colleagues created multiple varieties of theocress in which the function of certain PPR proteins is switched off. Then they ground up the plants to extract the RNA.
細胞がバラバラになっているので、あとは RNA をこう溶かせる作業になる。
They investigated the relationship between PPR proteins and RNA, almost as if they were cracking a secret code. This is how they were able to uncover the structure of PPR proteins that bind to each RNA base. They also succeeded in creating PPR genes with the exact sequence they wanted.
でこの中にはその PPR 遺伝子の部分断片というのが、それぞれに入っていますので、これを適切なものを取って、チューブに入れていくという作業をこの機械がやってくれます。
This technology caught the attention of Professor Nakamori at Yamaguchi University. If PPR proteins can bind strongly to each base of the RNA that causes myotonic dystrophy, he thought that they might be able to block the activity of the abnormal RNA. Professor Nakamori asked Yagi and his team to create a PPR gene that binds to the CUG sequence of RNA. It was then administered to the mice with myotonic dystrophy. These are the results. The mice treated with PPR showed a significant increase in the percentage of normal RNA. Using technology discovered and developed in Japan, you're curing diseases at their root. This is a groundbreaking achievement.
Now that the technology is established, we can finally control the RNA that causes the illness.
And will research on erythromycin and PPR proteins continue in parallel?
Oh yes, the PPR isn't that simple. So it's still in the animal study stage. We aim to treat myotonic dystrophy patients as much as we can with erythromycin while waiting for PPR to be ready for practical use. What's exciting about the PPR is that we can design them to bind to any RNA target we aim. So there are still many incurable diseases, including neurological diseases such as ALS, that mediates abnormal RNA. I hope the PPR technology can help cure as many of these diseases as possible. I'm going to devote my life to put an end on the suffering of patients.
Sato Minako continues training with HOW, a robot suit that detects brain signals and assists with body movement. While the disease cannot be stopped, it's believed that the robot suit can help slow the decline in her ability to walk.
相棒ですね。相棒です。私の体を支えてくれる。で、これは体だけではなくて、メンタルも支えてくれる。
Sato continues her training, placing her hopes in Professor Nakamori's research.
先生頑張れっていう感じです。で、先生頑張れって言うと同時に患者も頑張るぞっていう感じです。お薬ができた時にその薬に応えられる体を作っていく、そういう気持ちではいます。まあ強がりになっちゃうかもしれませんけど、私に間に合わなくても次世代の人たちには間に合うように。で、筋強直性ジストロフィーなんだってっていうふうに言われても、今は薬があるからよかったねっていう時代に早くなればいいなと思ってます。